Welcome again with new video. This video will be about OpenVPN server configuration. OpenVPN have many features, different purpose or way of use, and tons of configurations. But before we dive into the video details, please don't forget to like the video, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell button to receive new videos in future. Now let's move to the video details. This video will show you how to configure and use an OpenVPN server to tunnel to a web server from two clients. One will be a Windows client and the other one will be Linux client. Note that OpenVPN server has many and lot of configurations. I cannot cover all of them in this video, but please, if you have any other configurations you need me to cover, let me know in the comment box below the video so I can cover them in future videos. This figure will show you the challenge overview. We can see the web server has different subnet and the clients have different subnet. Now, to be able to reach the web server securely, we need to set up an OpenVPN between them and tunnel the connection between the clients and web server. So as we can see here, the web server have private network, which is 10.10.40/24 as a subnet. And we have here a Windows client and Linux client. They need to reach the web server. So the secure way to do it, and they need to reach it, of course, from the public network 10.10.30.0/24. So what is the secure way to reach here and how we can solve this challenge? This we can see it in the next figure. In this figure we can see how we can solve this issue. So as we can see here, we have Linux client and Windows client. We have OpenVPN server and we have web server. The web server are able to reach the OpenVPN server, and Linux Windows client, both of them are also the same as able to reach the OpenVPN server. So the IP for the open server for the public network is 10.10.30.140/24, and for the private network is 10.10.40/140. And web server have also one interface is 10.10.40.141/24 as a private network. As we can see, Linux and Windows are not able to reach this server because they have a public IP. They don't have a private IP or a private subnet, which not allow them to reach the web server. So how we can solve this issue? We can solve it using a tunnel. We can tunnel the connection through the OpenVPN and route it to be able to reach this subnet 10.10.40/24. And later on, once we connect, we are able to ping and reach this server using the OpenVPN server. So how we can do this configuration? This video will show you how to do this configuration. Before we dive into the lab demo, I would like to just summarize and show you what I have done and the configuration done to the lab. So this is like a lab overview, so you can see what I have, servers and clients, and the configuration for them. The first one is the web server. I had installed Apache 2 on top of it and create a simple web page. So this web page will be like to show or demonstrate for you how we can reach and to like prove that we are reach the web server. So the web server is has an IP 10.10.40.141 and the subnet is 10.10.40/20/24, which is the private subnet. The operating system is Ubuntu server 20.04. The OpenVPN server will hold the OpenVPN service. We will tunnel through the through this server to web server 10.10.30.140, 10.10.40.141 have two interfaces, are able to reach both subnets, the private and public subnet. Again, the operating system is Ubuntu server 20.04. Windows client, I installed on top of it, I think the OpenSSH to be able to SSH the Windows client 10.10.30.130. This is the IP with the public subnet, and the Windows in the operating system is Windows 10. Linux client is 10.10.30.131, and this is the public IP with public subnet, and the operating system is Ubuntu Desktop 20.04. This is the lab overview in general, so please, if you want to follow with me, try to set up the lab according to these details. Please to check out my GitHub account to follow up with me. You can find out there all the comments that I am using here during my demo in the video. Please give me a star. Please to give a star to my GitHub repo if you find it helpful or useful for you. Here I have listed all the comments. There is two sections. One is a cheat sheet, only comments. So if you like to just only have the comments straightforward, and also I put also the sections will be detailed steps here. Once you hit the comment, you can see also the output, how it should be, and that's it. Please don't forget to give a star if you find it useful to you. Thank you, and see you right now with the demo. Let's dive in. As you can see here, I have listed all the steps here that we will come through during this demo. So the first step is check OpenVPN server network connectivity. After we finish checking and make sure that we are connected to all the servers and clients, then we will install OpenVPN server. After that, we will move to configure OpenVPN server. After finishing the configuration and create everything, and everything is done on the OpenVPN server, we will move to configure Linux client, and I will show you how you can configure Linux client and make the make this client.conf work with the service. Also, you can start it through the service systemd service. Here also I will try also to test Linux connectivity, that we are able to reach using the OpenVPN server tunnel. We are able to reach the private network. After that, I will move to configure Windows client, and after finish the Windows client, the same, I will just test the connectivity and make sure that I am able to reach the private network, and I can also browse the web page. Okay, so that's the steps overview. I will move right now with the first step, check the connectivity on the OpenVPN server. As you can see here, I'm connected right now to the OpenVPN server using SSH. The user is root. So now I will try to check the connectivity between the OpenVPN server and the web client. So I will start right now. First thing, I will try to ping the web server. As you can see here, I'm able to reach the web server. So that's mean there is a connectivity between both of them. I will try to reach the web page because I installed Apache web application server on it, and I create also index page there. So everything is fine right now. I'm able to reach. So I will check right now if I'm able to reach the Windows client. So I think the Windows client is also reachable. So let's try to reach also the Linux client, which is Ubuntu desktop. As you can see here, also I'm able to ping the Ubuntu. So now we can see here that I have done checking the connectivity. So I will back here to the steps overview. We can uncheck this one, check this one now. That means we have done this step. We finished the first step. Now let's move to install OpenVPN server. We need now to move to the SSH on OpenVPN server. We're using root user. So to install the OpenVPN server, we need to issue this command. So I will just copy paste. As you can see here, we need to install OpenSSL, OpenVPN, CA certificates, EasyRSA, and then hit enter. It will take a little bit to finish. As you can see here, the OpenVPN and the other dependencies are installed. So now I will move to create EasyRSA directory inside the etc OpenVPN server EasyRSA. And after finish that, I will just also assign a URL to a variable. As you can see here, EasyRSA URL, and then I will put the EasyRSA compressed file from the GitHub. You can take this, you can find all these commands on my GitHub repo, so it will be easy for you to follow with me. I will use wget to get this URL downloaded, and then I will pipe it to tar, and then I will extract it under EasyRSA under this path. So let's see. Done. So let me just move to etc OpenVPN okay, then server, then EasyRSA. As you can see here, there is no simple directory and simple files. There is nothing more you can find here. Once I create, later on I will create some directories here. They will help me to organize my files. Now I will clear. So as you can see here, we finished the installation. So we have done this step. Later on we will move to configure OpenVPN server after we finish the installation. So to configure VPN, we need to move again to the SSH. Now we will, and just let me do ls. As you can see here, the user and everything is wrong. We don't have user with ID 1001, so we need to change to root, change the owner to root. So the root will be the owner for those files. Let's check back again. Yes, as you can see here, so I will clear the screen. Now we will first create a PKI, which is a public key infrastructure. As you can see here, we don't have a directory called PKI. Once we issue this command, you can see this directory will be created. Yes, we can find it here. So that's mean the public key is the public key infrastructure is created successfully. Now I will create some directories. Later on they will hold, they are not mandatory and they are not related to the OpenVPN configuration, but I like to create them to copy all the related files for let's say take an example of the server. There is some files, I will copy them, so they will hold, this directory will hold all the server directories that we need them later on to configure the server, and the same for the client as well. So let me just create them. As you can see here also, I can list them: server, Win client, and also Linux client. Okay, so let me clear the screen. Now I will move to just create a CA, which is certificate authority. The command will be like this: EasyRSA-patch build CA no pass. Okay, that's mean don't prompt me for entering a passphrase. Yeah, so everything is fine right now. The CA is created. Let's check if it's created or not. PKI, and you can see here the CA is created successfully. Let me just clear the screen now, and let's move to the next step. Now we will build a server certificate and key. Now the command will be like this. You can see here EasyRSA cert expiry. This is the expiry. It will be 3650 days. The EasyRSA and build, this is the command, will build server full, and the name of the file will be server. Of course, no pass. I don't want to protect the certificate. Now, sorry, the public key and private key. So as you can see here, successfully created. You can see here the there is no error. So that's mean everything is fine. Now I will move to generate a CRL called the CRL is called certificate revoke list. The same. This will be created under easy RSA BKI CRL.pem. That's mean if I do like this, I can find it, yeah, here. So that means it's created successfully. Let me clear the screen. Now we need this file called DH parameter. This one also is important for us. I will use OpenSSL to generate it. Nice. We can see here that the DH parameter is finished. The file, let me just check PKI. Yeah, I can find it here, dh.bim. So this is finished successfully. Let me just clear the screen. Now I will create a secret called TLS crypt. This will help us to crypt the connection between the client and the server. So I will just hit enter. Let's make sure that it's created. Now like this, tc dot, yeah. As you can see here, the tc is dot key is created successfully. Now we have done from creating the files for server. So let me just, I'm generating the files for the server. Now I will just copy all of them and put all the needed file. I will copy them to server folder, which I created before a few minutes. I will hit enter. Now the server should have, yeah, the needed files to configure the server later on. Okay. Now I will generate a key for now I will generate a certificate and key for Linux client. It's simple. I will put no pass. I will generate this one without password, and for Windows also I will generate it with the password. Okay, as you can see here is there is no error, everything is fine. So I will clear the screen. Now I will move all related files to LNX client folder. So the command will be like this: cp pki ca.cert pki private linux client.key, the pki tc.key pki issued like this linux.client.cert. I will move all of them to linux underscore client. I will hit enter. So ls minus lx lnx client. As you can see here, all the linux client key certificate they are holding by this directory. So later on I can move this one to Linux client to be able to connect to OpenVPN server. Okay, now also I will generate a certificate and key for Windows client. This one I will use password. So as you can see here, so the client and the certificate will be win underscore client 01. So I will just hit enter. It should prompt me for a pass phrase. So I will enter my secret pass phrase. Yeah, everything is done successfully. Now we have done to creating a client certificate for Windows. Now I will move all of them to their related directory. Now you can see here cpca.cert, tc.key, and also win underscore client.01 cert, and as well as key. I will move them to win underscore client. I will hit enter. Let me just check if they are moved correctly. When, yeah, everything is fine. Now, after we finish everything and all the files right now in the correct place, I will just tar the Linux. Yeah, I will tar the Linux client files later on to move them to the Ubuntu desktop, and as well as the Windows client. I'm not sure if I have zip command. Yeah, I have it. Good. So as you can see here, I have both directories are compressed. So this one I will move it to Linux client, which is Ubuntu, and this one will be moved to Windows client, which is Windows 10 later on. Okay. So let me clear the screen. Now I will move the files from server to up directory. So they will be held here to under this directory. Let me just show you before perform this command. As you can see here, I don't have anything here under this directory. So I will move the files. Let me just rerun the command. As you can see here, all of them, they are here. Okay. So like this, we have done the files, the certificate and everything for the server. Let me now do some configurations for the operating system. So the server by default for security reasons not allow the IP forward. So I will enable the IP forward on the operating system. So the first thing is I write this one under this this file or this configuration file will be, as well as also I will change some kernel parameters. Okay, now I will run this command. That's mean I don't need to restart. Once you run this command, it will allow and sorry, it will apply all the change without rebooting the system. As you can see here, let me just grab forward. As you can see here, the forward, yeah, it's implemented and right now taking the effect on the system. So let me clear the screen. Now let's try to create, let me just go back, directory clear ls. As you can see here, I don't have server.config. So let me create one. I will do vim like this. Let me hit I to be able to insert. Now I will copy this one and I will paste it here and just tell you exactly what it's mean. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, this one, it's mean the local, that's mean please listen on 10.10.30.140. That's mean don't listen to all the interfaces, just use this interface or this IP to listen on. The port is 443. You can change it for something unused port for you, but I prefer 443. Protocol, I'm using TCP. You can use UDP. It's up to you. The device is tunneling. I'm using tunneling here, so I'm using TUN. So the CA certificate authority is ca.cert. It's on the same directory. So if it's in the other directory, please you need to specify here the path where the CA is located. The cert is the server certificate. I add it in the same directory as well. The key also the same. DH the same also in the same directory. TLS script tc.key. CRL verify, CRL.bim. All of them, this one topology is subnet. Here, the server will be under this subnet 10.8.0.0 under this subnet mask. This one, once you connect to the VPN, you will take an IP like this. Once you have the TUN on the client, the IP by automatically will be taken. So if config bool persist, this one I think will save and hold the client IPs. So later on, once you want to connect back, your IP will be persist and preserve here. The route here, the route I need to route to 10.10.40 subnet. That's mean any connection come through this one, please route it to this one, to this subnet. And please also to push the route for that one. Here also to push all the traffic to this route. Keep alive, that's mean this is by default, I keep it default. Cipher, I am using here AES 256 GCM, and the user nobody, and group no group. Some Linux you need to use nobody also, but here Ubuntu server use no group. Persist key, persist none, ton, and the verb is 3 here for logging. Once you I think 3 is the most common one. You can use 0, but it will you will have too much logs, more details. But 3 is a good one to have, just not have a full log file. And the log append here and status, you can find all these once you run, and you can also troubleshoot using those logs later on. Let me just first save this one. Now you can see we almost done. Now I will create a service. Now let me just enable the service. Here you need just to take care of this one, server. You see I'm using server.conf, so you need to make it server.service. So what's you name your server, you need to put here in the service. So I will hit enter here. This one will generate generate a service, systemd service. Now let me just start this service, and this service will be started. I think there is an error. Let's troubleshoot. Let me just show the status. Let me clear the screen. Once I clear the screen, let me just stop the service. I think systemctl stop OpenVPN. Let me just check the status. As we can see here, it's a stop. So let me just clear the screen. Let me just start again. Yep, I think it's started right now. Everything is fine. Yep, I think it's working right now. We can see here that it's working. Let me just check the network. ANTP grep 443. Yeah, it's listening under this under this IP. So that's mean the clients need to connect and reach this IP and this port to be able to reach the OpenVPN server. That's it. So I think now we have done, but the last things I need to do is create the IP table. I will create an add table and try to just create this command. This command will just do a post routing from this one, which is the this one, I think the OpenVPN subnet, to this. That means it will allow routing from this IP to this IP. Sorry, from this subnet to this subnet. So I will hit enter. And now we can just see one thing. IBA, let's say, and you can see here the 10.0 and the subnet is 10.8.0.1. Okay, so everything right now on the server is fine and okay. Everything is working, so we can move here and we can now check this box. That's we have done 3 steps. Now let's move to the next step. We almost done. Now we will configure the Linux client. So I will move to Ubuntu now to be able to configure the Linux client. Now I am in Ubuntu client. So here I want to connect to the OpenVPN server. First, I need to just download the tar file which I created previous on the server. If you remember, this file holding all the client key and certificate things that I need to connect. And once I just hit yes, it will, yeah, I need to say yes, and then enter the password. Nice. So now the Linux client tar file is downloaded, and we can just confirm on temp Linux. Yeah, as you can see here, it's yeah, under the temp directory. Now we need just to extract this directory, sorry, this tar under this directory, etc OpenVPN client. I will hit enter. As you can see here, I extracted all the files here to this directory. Let's check ls -l. Let me just do like this. Yeah, all the files are here. Now I will create a config file. Let me just use vim command like this. Now I will hit I, and now I will just copy the configuration file. You can find this configuration file on GitHub. Tell that this configuration is for client. This one is the div will be a tunneling. Protocol will be TCP. The remote, here we will specify the IP of the OpenVPN will be 10.10.30.140, and the port will be 443. The certificate authority will be this one, the cert, and here I am putting the full path. As you can see here, no bind, persist key, everything is normal. Of course, I'm using here the same cipher and the same auth which we have in the server. So let me just save, and once I save, let's let me just first, I will disable. So let me just system ctl, so, or disable. Let me just disable and disable the OpenVPN service. Okay, now I will enable the OpenVPN at client dot service. As you can see here, I am naming the config file as client.conf. So I am naming here client.service. This is also I need also to enable, not to disable. Let me just to enable. I will hit enter. But before we are moving to starting the service, let me just check this file. I think yeah, let me copy till here, vim, and let me also try to see. Yeah, as you can see here, I just want to modify this one. Here you can see I put all the configuration and the files under this path, which is, let me just land, and then I will do like this, and then I will exit. Okay, so now I think I need to reload. So let me just system ctl daemon reload, sorry, reload, and now let's start. Let's try system ctl start OpenVPN client, and let's see if it started. Yeah, As you can see here, now the service is started. Let's check the status. Let me just clear the screen first. Let me check the status. Yep, it's running. Everything is fine. It tells that there is no password, of course, no issue. Now let me just to ping the 10 40 140. As you can see here, I'm able to reach the private network. Let me just see if I'm able to reach the web. Yep. Let's check the web browser if we are able to reach. Now let me just enter, yeah, this one. As you can see here, I'm able to reach the web page on 10.10.40.140. So now let me just to check. I want to stop systemctl, stop OpenVPN, and at client. So let's see if I'm able to ping again. As you can see here, I'm not able to reach one the same. Let me also to try to reach this server as well. Control R. As you can see here, I'm not able to reach the web page. So let's start again. Yep, let's start again. Yeah, like this. Let's check the status. Yep, status here. Yep, it's active and running. Let me just clear the screen. Let's control R, ping. Let's ping. Yeah, we are able to reach the. Yep. So now everything is okay here. And let's do the last thing. Let's see. Yeah, I'm able to reach the private network using the OpenVPN. That means the configuration is successfully done on Linux client. So I will back again to our list to see how what we have finished till now. As you can see here, we have done the configuration on Linux client and testing Linux client connectivity. Now we will move to configure Windows client and test as well the client connectivity on Windows. So I will move now to Windows 10 client. Now I'm in Windows 10 client. I will show you how we can connect Windows to OpenVPN server. Before we connect and go to configure the Windows, first you need to download the OpenVPN, and to download it you need to visit this web page, OpenVPN community download, openvpn.net community download, and from here you can pick the suitable installer for you. For me, I'm Windows 64-bit MSI installer, Microsoft installer, and already I downloaded. I have it here on the operating system. So let me just double click it to install, run. And now, as you can see here, I will just click install and press yes. Okay, the installation completed. I will close. After finish, this will prompt for me. That means the configuration will be under user, OpenVPN client, OpenVPN config, or will be under program files, OpenVPN config. I will make it, I will put all my configuration under this directory. I prefer to be here. So I will click OK. Now I will move here. First, we need to download the files from the OpenVPN server. You remember I zipped the files there. So let me just first use SCP to download the files. Okay, yeah, like this. Hit enter the password, and yeah, it's downloaded. Now I will just open it, and let me just open um another file instance. Let me just yeah, from C, open in a new window. Okay, now I will move the files from here to OpenVPN config, Control C, paste all of them, continue. It's pretty simple. So now I will just create a config. From here, it will be client dot o sorry ovpn. Hit enter. Yes. And now I can edit the OpenVPN. Okay. I have the client OVPN configurations. I will just paste them like this. You can see it's similar to the Linux one, but with just you can see here the path, no need. Everything is identical. Not much. Um, there is no difference between them. So I will move it here. Continue. As you can see here, it's already moved. Now, once we click here on the, as you can see here, it's show me connect. That's me detect this OVPN configuration. If once I hit like this, it will prompt for me enter the password. You remember I didn't put no pass. That's mean it will ask me or prompt me for the password of the to be able to connect, and this is more secure a little bit if you are if you have this computer used by many people, so you can protect your VPN. As we can see here, once you see this icon, green one, that's mean everything is fine and you are connected to the OpenVPN. And we can see here the IP is 10803. And of course, also, I will check if we are able to ping 10, 10, 40, I think, 40, 141. Yep, we are able to reach. Let me just check if I'm able to reach the private as well of the VPN. Yes, I'm able. Nice. Now let's see if I'm able to reach the web page. Let's see. 10, 10, 40.141. Sorry. Yep, I'm able to reach this web page, yeah, which is in the private. Let me just try to disconnect and see if I'm still, yeah, I'm not able to reach. Let's try to ping as well to confirm that I am using the OpenVPN. I'm not able to reach them. So that's mean OpenVPN is working fine and route me to correct subnet. Again, the password. Of course, you can save it, but I will not. Nice. Now I'm connected. Let's check again. Yeah, I'm able to reach this web server. I'm able also to reach the VPN server private, and here also the same. So let's go back to the step overview and see what we have done till now. Back to our list. So as you can see the steps now, we have done configure Windows client, test Windows client connectivity, also done. We completed all the steps, so we have done, and OpenVPN server now configured successfully. Just to summarize and recap everything, so you can see here the overview. Now the web server was like in private subnet client, both client Linux and Windows not able to reach this server. And of course, the OpenVPN solved this issue, and we show you during this video how we configure the OpenVPN server to be able to reach the web server from Linux and Windows clients using OpenVPN. So thank you for watching, and I hope this lab is helpful for you at least to try to set up such environment or such solution in case if you face an issue. Please put below in the comment section your issues, and I will try and do my best to solve it. Thank you for watching and wish to see you again in next video.